trustees in Crown Point. If we could all please rise, and I'll have Mr. Vassar lead us in the saying of the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to item 2, Board of School Trustees Resolution of Commendation Awards. Item 2.01, 2024-2025 Jerry Ross Elementary Math Bowl Team for winning first place in the Orange class in Lake County and placing in the state's top 10 at the Regional Elementary Math Bowl Competition. I was going to read through them all.
Oh, you're going to do the whole thing? Okay.
That's okay. 2.02, 2024-2025 Colonel Wheeler Middle School Dance Team for being named regional and state champions in junior high, AAA Jazz and junior high AAA Palm. 2.03 Colonel Wheeler 2024-2025 Academic Super Bowl Team for winning third place in the state in the English category and first, second, and third place awards in the region in English, Math, Science, Social Studies, and interdisciplinary categories. 2.04, 2024-2025 Taft Middle School Cyber Dogs Robotics Team 33334E for winning first place in the skills at the 2025 Indiana Middle School VEX IQ Robotics State Championship. 2.05 Crown Point High School Business Professionals of America Team for earning several first place team and individual student awards at the 2024 Regional Leadership Conference and several first, second, and third place team and individual student awards at the 2025 Leadership Conference. Item 2.06, 2024-2025 Crown Point High School Latin Club for winning first place in the Helen Wampler Spirit Contest, second in overall sweepstakes competition, the Dennis M. Bartlow Publicity Contest, the Local Publications Contest, the Delegate Spirit Contest, and third in the Traditional Scrapbook Contest, and for placing second overall in the Certamen Advanced Division at the Indiana Junior Classical League State Convention. And finally, item 2.07, the 2025-2026 Teacher of the Year, Employee of the Year, and Administrator Year of the Year awards. May I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Angel.
Second.
And second by Ms. Bazin. All in favor? Are there any comments or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Vote carries 5-0. We'll now present the commendation awards, starting with the Jerry Ross Elementary Math Bowl Team.
All right, welcome. So I will read our official commendation and then we'll have Coach come up and say a couple words and then we'll hand out some certificates. So the Crown Point Board of School Trustees is honored to commend the 2024-2025 Jerry Ross Elementary Math Bowl Team for meritorious achievement. Be it hereby resolved that the Board of School Trustees for the Crown Point Community School Corporation wishes to express sincere congratulations to the 2024-2025 Jerry Ross Elementary Math Bowl Team for winning first place in the Orange class in Lake County and placing in the state's top 10 regional elementary math bowl competition. The Board of School Trustees publicly recognizes this achievement and renders it permanently to its minutes to be preserved for public posterity, dated this 19th day of May, 2025. Can we have Coach Lucas come on up and say a few words? So I'll have you just tell us a little bit about their achievement for the year, and then I'll have you read off their names and we'll go from left to right.
Okay. Hi, my name is Robert Lucas, and I coached the Math Bowl this year, but I would be crazy not to give the credit where it's due. You know, the teachers that made the recommendations, Mrs. Lindsley, who put together the team, she said, I understand that you're a Math Bowl coach, and we could use a Math Bowl coach. So all I had to do was kind of point them in the right direction. The kids were absolutely amazing. They showed up, and even we had 3 alternates that knew that they were only going to step in if needed, and they kept showing up as well. So it's really, to me, about the journey, but we are here to celebrate their success, and I'm very proud of that. Parents and teachers should take, great pride in that, as well as the kids, because you answered the questions. I'm going to introduce now the members that we have. I guess we're going to introduce them all. I don't know if they're all here right now or not. Jovan Andenov. Zachary Franz. He's not here. Oops, I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Here we go. Alexandria Barclay. Parker Burke. Aria Coffey. Alexander Galick. Aiden Hobson. Jackson Kerwin. Samantha Kiger. Caleb Knupp. Trevor Leaflighter. Jackson Mann. Emily Milashevska. Chris Nogley. Ariana Nikrin. Michael Pendergrast. Nikolai Ratzlaff. Luke Rodriguez. Miles Sexton. Sophia Stanijevic. Angelo Strzezoski. Peyton Zuba. How about Cooper Walsh? But Carrie Lucas is, and she's our other coach. Great. Thank you.
to 2024-2025 Colonel Will Middle School Dance Team. If we could bring them in.
Yeah.
Here comes the dance team. Welcome, young ladies. Just come all the way in, all the way down to the left. Get everybody in. Welcome, everybody.
All right, welcome. We'll give everyone a second to find a spot. All right, thank you for joining us. So I will read our official commendation, and then we'll have coaches come up and say a couple words, and then you'll call out names, and I'll pass out our certificates. So we would like to recognize the Crown Point Board of School Trustees is honored to commend the 2024-2025 Colonel Wheeler Middle School Dance Team for meritorious achievement. Be it hereby resolved that the Board of School Trustees for the Crown Point Community School Corporation wishes to express sincere congratulations to the 2024-2025 Colonel Wheeler Middle School Dance Team for being named regional and state champions in junior high AAA Jazz and junior high AAA Pom. The Board of School Trustees publicly recognizes this achievement and renders it permanently to its minutes to be preserved for public posterity, dated this 19th day of May, 2025. So coaches, one of you want to come on up? All right, and we'll let you guys tell us a little bit about our accomplishments this season, and then whenever you're ready, we'd love to write it.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. We had a momentous year. We really created a legacy here. These girls worked their tails off and won everything, every competition, everything. It was wild. And that's never happened here at Wheeler. So they created their legacy. This is a legacy team. Very proud of them.
Not only that, we were undefeated in our ensemble as well, Wheeler's first ever ensemble. So it's pretty cool to have a three-peat undefeated season. And then actually following up from last year's season, which was a double state champion title as well. So it's pretty cool to continue that legacy 2 years in a row. So we're really proud of you all and very excited for all that's to come.
Hayden Babcock. Annabelle Flanagan. Oh, Ella Benson. Sorry, gotta go. Layla Shavira. Annika Edwards. Now Annabelle Flanagan. Avery Fronick. Alyssa Godino. Molly Craiglow. Ken Mercado. Sophie McCormick. Lily Petty. Gianna Schaller. Haley Williams. Sabrina Wright.
And the last four, Coach Annie Vassar and Coach Ellie McCarthy. All right, so girls, we'll have you squeeze in a little bit to get a picture.
item 2.03, Colonel Wheeler 2024-2025 Academic Super Bowl team for winning third place in the state English category. If we can bring them in. Here they come. If you want to come in all the way down to the far left, as far as you can go, line up. There we go. We have a lot, so make sure we have plenty of room. Maybe we went too far left. Here, let's scoot this way. Let's even it out a little bit. All right, very good. A little bit further, sorry. Moved you too far. Perfect, thank you.
Have a chance to come in. Okay, welcome, Colonel Wheeler Academic Super Bowl team. I'm gonna read your accommodation, and then I'd ask a coach to come up and present you guys your accommodations. Resolution of commendation. The Crown Point Board of School Trustees is honored to commend the 2024-2025 Colonel Wheeler Middle School Academic Super Bowl team for meritorious achievement. Be it hereby resolved that the Board of School Trustees for the Crown Point Community School Corporation wishes to express sincere congratulations to the 2024-2025 Wheeler Middle School Academic Super Bowl team for winning third place in the state in English category and first, second, and third place awards in the region in English, Math, Science, Social Studies, and interdisciplinary categories at the Indiana Academic Super Bowl competition. The Board of School Trustees publicly recognizes this achievement, renders it permanently to its minutes to be preserved for public posterity, dated this 19th day of May, 2025. Congratulations. Coach, and Coach Murley?
Yes.
All right. So Coach Murley, here's your sheet. If you call up this students, it's going left, right across the top.
Okay, perfect. Kylie Amenapana. Gunnar Anderson. Zeke Anderson. We have Aria Bright and Benjamin Brooks, who are not here tonight. And then we're on to Danessa Casillas. Aubrey Garcia. Jet James. And then we have Aiden Johnson's not here tonight. Cheyenne Khan. Solomon's not here tonight, but then we have Maggie Michaelides. I'm going to butcher it, Mags, every time. And then Roan is not here. Reagan Sparling is not here. We have a band concert tonight as well. Riley Whitehouse. And then we were fortunate enough this year to have 5 high schoolers. I'm like, can I lower this? We had 5 high schoolers who came and coached for us. 3 of them have the band concert tonight, but then we have Alice Murley, who coached, like, she's my kid, but also she coached this English team to first in the district, and she also coached in the 3rd in the state. I'm proud as an English teacher. I'm proud. Like, I helped, but like, you guys know, Alice coached you, and she did her best, and she took what she's been learning at the high school, and she used it to like help you guys go and do great things. So Alice did that, and then Gibson and Nick Collier both helped coach our science. Nick is not here tonight because of band. Asher McCalvey and Beatrice Kirschmurray are both not here, but they helped coach our social studies team. And then, yeah, Nick and Gibson coach the science team together. But yeah, I'm really proud. This is the first time that we've gone to our regional competition and come home medaling in everything. We got first in English, second in science and interdisciplinary, and then we got third in math and social studies, unless I messed that up because I don't do numbers. In addition to that, we ranked in the top 10 in the state in everything but science, and we ranked 21st in the state in science. So these kids worked like really hard, and they did hard things, and I'm really proud of them.
Thank you, Coach.
And Rachel Miller is our she coached the math. She did the hardest part. Sorry, Rach.
2.04, the 2024-2025 Taft Middle School Cyber Dogs Robotics Team, if we could bring them in. All right, well, welcome. I'm honored to give the award, the accommodation award to the robotics team. I can tell you that we have had a long-term vision of robotics, and we're excited to have you here to see the fruit of the vision come in. So I'm going to read the accommodation award to you. The Crown Point Board of School Trustees is honored to commend the 2024 and 2025 Taft Cyber Dogs Robotics Team for meritorious achievement. Be it hereby resolved that the Board of School Trustees for the Crown Point Community School Corporation wishes to express sincere congratulations to the 2024-2025 Taft Cyber Dogs Robotics Team 33334E for receiving first place in skills at the 2025 Indiana Middle School VEX IQ Robotics State Championship. The Board of School Trustees publicly recognizes this achievement and renders it permanently to its minutes to be preserved for public posterity this 19th day of May, 2025. Congratulations. Coach Jones, Coach Walker, if one of you would come up here, or I don't know who's present, either one. Right.
All right. And our team consisted of Dylan Bender, Michael Grady, Jude Jameson, Jack Lubash, Mishu Nurek, who is the head here, and Mrs. Jones and I are the coaches.
You want to say anything about your team and how you did this year?
Mrs. Jones, did you want to speak? Did you have that? Okay.
Yeah, our robotics team had a really successful year. Winning the state championship is a first in Taft history, I believe. So awesome showing there. And at the time, they had the top score in skills in the world for a while. And then we went to Worlds. We just got back last week from Dallas, Texas, and they came and finished in the top of their division and made Indiana proud.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Get your award. Moving on to 2.05, Crown Point High School Business Professionals of America team for earning first place and other awards. If you could please come in. Good evening. They are. Yeah, but we'll do that. We'll do that later. Let me read the accommodation award and then we'll get started, okay? Okay, come on in, parents. Make sure everyone gets seated. All All right, well, welcome everybody, and this is, I think, my third year in a row of doing this accommodation for you, at least my second, I know that for sure. So congratulations. I always admire how well everyone's dressed and how professional they look, so you all look great, fantastic. I'm going to read the resolution of commendation. The Crown Point Board of School Trustees is honored to commend the Crown Point High School 2024 and 2025 Business Professionals of America team for meritorious achievement. Be it hereby resolved that the Board of School Trustees for the Crown Point Community School Corporation wishes to express sincere congratulations to the 2024-2025 Business Professionals of America team for earning several first place team and individual student awards at the 2024 Regional Leadership Conference, and several first, second, and third place team and individual student awards at the 2025 State Leadership Conference. The Board of School Trustees publicly recognizes this achievement and renders it permanently to its minutes to be preserved for public posterity. Dated this 19th day of May, 2025. Congratulations, everyone. I have grabbed Mrs. Backnick. We're going to read off each one of your names individually, and you'll come forward to get your award. Okay, so if you...
I've got the teacher voice. I think I'm okay.
You're good?
I think so.
You'll yell at me in the back room if you're not on the microphone.
Okay, all right, all right, okay. Ari Barrick Terrace. So we've got a lot of things on at the Crown Point Community School Corporation, so several of our members are not here this evening, so I'll take those with me, I would assume,
It's
right?
a common theme.
Yeah, it's a common thing. Okay, so Jacob Basil, he's not here this evening, and Jake Bauman. Andrew Bottomer. Jacob Boron. Caleb Boughton. Luca Caniglio. Aiden Cowenhoven. Kiram Urbini. Mason Urbini. He's not here either. Dahlia Ferguson. She's not here. Emily Germanoska. Jacob Germack. He's not here. Lucy Keene.
Saving them all to the end.
John Kirkmary. He's not here. Maggie Kristeska. Emma Lemke. She's not here. Okay, great. Aiden Matthews. Leo and Panayotis Mattingly. Neither of them are here. Callum McCaskill. Xavier Menchaca. Sebastian Mesa. Thelma Morales. Marco Nastovich. He's not here. Parker Nix. He's not here. Devion Uten. Josephine Pape. She's not here. Sunny Pape. He's not here. Barrett Carroll. He's not here. Jan Pineda. He's not here. Jackson Pugh. He's not here. Natalie Pugh. She's not here. Sela Quermit. She's not here. Caesar Quermit. Sebastian Razkotz. He's not here. Nick Saberniak. He's not here. Ricky Santana. Nora Sargent. Meher Sidhu. She's not here. Sophia Snyder. She's not here. Yuki Swaminathan. She's not here. William Tarrant. He's not here. Nathan Udall. Murray Wallace. She's not here. Miles Warren. Ryan Welsh. Here. Abigail Wilson.
Yourself.
And myself.
Mary Backneck, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And Scott McFarland.
Mrs. Backneck, if you want to make a comment about the team or how you did this year.
Thank you. So our team grew quite a bit this year. We had 54 members last year, and we had 91 this year. There are 49 members, which was nearly the size of our entire team last year, which qualified for these commendations. So I'm so proud of them. They worked really hard. Many of our members were new members this year, and our senior members helped our new members, and so it was just an incredibly successful year. And so we're really hoping that we will continue to build on that success in years to come. Our theme this year was capture the moment, and I feel like this has been a really big moment for all of us, and so we just want to make sure that we're present in this moment, because when they were talking earlier for the team that, you know, this is going to be in the record forever. So maybe one day you'll be able to say to your children or whomever it is in your family that on this date in the year 2025 that your name is in the record. And so we are so proud of you. You guys have done an incredible job and worked so very hard. So thank you all. Thank you so much. You want me to
We would
take
have
this?
circled, I'll hold the top of your picture.
Okay, great.
We would have circled the room if you had 91 people.
That would have been a lot, right?
Okay, moving on to item 2.06, 2024-25 Crown Point High School Latin Club for winning first place in the Hello Romper Spirit Contest. Come on in, Latin Club.
The Crown Point Board of School Trustees is honored to commend the 2024-25 Crown Point High School Latin Club for meritorious achievement. Be it hereby resolved that the Board of School Trustees for the Crown Point Community School Corporation wishes to express sincere congratulations for the 24-25 Crown Point High School Latin Club for winning first place in the Spirit Contest, second place in the Sweepstakes Contest, and in the Publicity Contest, the Local Publications Contest, the Delicate Spirit Contest, Traditional Scrapbook Contest, and placing second overall in the Advanced Division at the Indiana Junior Classical League State Convention. First, we'll honor Coach Jeremy Walker, who will then introduce the rest of his team. Coach.
We're really excited to be here tonight. We have a lot of fantastic young people. You may notice our group's not so big. We also have a lot of people who are in band, and tonight is the all-city band concert. So we had to divide and conquer. Those of us who could come here came here, and the rest are over there making beautiful music. So we had a fantastic state convention. We were at the March 15th area down at Bloomington at Indiana University. We had 23 young people who were competing in all sorts of different things. They did graphic arts where they made their projects and took them with them all along the themes of the ancient Greek and Roman world. They did academic contests. They also did creative arts where they had to do a costume contest, and they decorated, well, they made their costume and they had to like do a little talent show as they're spinning around and doing that, right, Lola? They also did their Latin oratory, they did dramatic interpretation, and they did a lot of things like that. We also had several chaperones who were sitting out in the room too, and I have to say thank you to them because we couldn't do it without their help. So thank you to our chaperones. And we're just very, very, very proud of all the young people and all that they did. I want to brag about this really quickly, that 22 of our 23 who went with us placed in the top 5 in at least one competition. And all of those points are what contribute to our second place overall finish. So we think, you know, as we're trying to rebuild back to our pre-COVID numbers, we're pretty proud with where we're doing with the number that we've got. So I hope they all continue to do the good work, and I hope that all the rest of you who have younger siblings, younger children out there, think about the Latin program at the high school. So going to introduce some people, and I'll try and go quickly for the ones who I know aren't here. Zofia Barrick, Gabriel Blake, who is here. So if you want to come up. Jillian Bourne isn't here. Jacob Bourne is here, spelled differently. Lola Coyle. And not here today, Nick Collier, Jaylee Delinea, Ashley Grindy, Sammy Ipama, and then that takes us to Annie Jacoby. Abby Katona couldn't be with us. Addison Kirkis couldn't be with us. Neither could June Kolarski or Asher McAlvey. But here for a second time, Gibson Murley. Got a string of band people here. Kenneth O'Yang, Joe Stewart, Lincoln Vickers, Luke Waldschmidt. And then we have one of our orchestra people who could be here tonight, Jack Watson. We're missing Joe Williams, but we do have Emmy Wilson here, last but not least in our list. And then Jeremy Yancey is also performing with the band tonight. And Mr. Ryan Collier is being a really good parent and supporting his child who is there at band tonight. So that is the group. Thank you very much.
2007 to 2025 and 2026 Teacher of the Year, Employee of the Year, and Administrator of the Year award presentations. And they're coming in. Got lots of seat up in the front row. Any front row takers? Yeah. Got some more seats in the front row here. All right, I would read the accommodation award, but everybody's heard them and they're very confusing because we have different qualifications. So what I'm gonna do is just group those together. We have Teacher of the Year finalists, both at the secondary, elementary level, and then we have our actual Teachers of the Year, both at secondary, elementary, and the Employee of the Year, and then we have Employee of the Year finalists. So I will read your name, come up, congratulate you, and I'll explain what your category you fell in. So, as a secondary Teacher of the Year finalist, Ryan Voss. As a secondary Teacher of the Year finalist, Tammy Betts. As an elementary Teacher of the Year finalist, Jennifer Chiquina. As an elementary Teacher of the Year finalist, Sheridan Moore. As an elementary Teacher of the Year finalist, Jennifer Hotsteller. As an elementary Teacher of the Year finalist, Kate Chance. As an elementary Teacher of the Year finalist, Beth Morey. As an elementary Teacher of the Year finalist, Shira Merzen. As an Employee of the Year finalist, Brandy Newell. As an Employee of the Year finalist, Mandy Adams. All right, now on to our winners. As Employee of the Year, Kristen Maurer. Oh, we get a gift for you too, Kristen. I always forget the gift part, the best part, right? Elementary Teacher of the Year, Hannah Rizzo. As our secondary Teacher of the Year, Carrie Quinn. All right, now
this part of it, I bail out because the administrator of the year is being announced by Mr. Matt Reese. All right. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. All together. All right. Mr. Picture.
It's my pleasure tonight to announce the 2024-2025 Administrator of the Year. This individual is completing their 29th school year here at Crown Point Schools. They are wrapping up as the person who is at the forefront every day of a $350 million building projects across the district. Also made an initiative with NIBSCO to receive over $250,000 in rebates back to the corporation from all the projects that we've been completing. On top of that, completed an attendance initiative with his department that has increased their attendance to 96% for their employees showing up every day. A huge increase this year. And I'm proud to announce the 2024-25 Administrator of the Year, Mr. Mike Belaski.
Nice and quiet, Diana. Thank you. All right, we're moving on to item 3.01. Suspend the regular meeting, open the public hearing on the disposition of real property. May I have a motion? Moved by Ms. Basin and second by Mr. Vassar. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? The vote carries 5-0. Item 3.02, disposition of real property. Mr. Reese?
Thank you, Mr. President. As required by Indiana code, when the public school corporation is going to dispose of real property, you're required to hold a public hearing, both for opportunities to hear objections and support regarding that disposition. The vacant property in question is located at 3615 East 129th Avenue in Crown Point, Indiana.
Thank you, Mr. Reese. Item 3.03, patrons' comments on the public hearing item. Tonight, there are no registered patrons to comment, so we'll move on to item 3.04. Resolution number 861, disposition of real property. Back to you, Mr. Reese. Thank you, Mr. Reese. You heard the recommendation of the administration to approve disposition of 52.63 acres and delegate the superintendent to carry out the disposition. May I have a motion? So moved by Mr. Angel. Second by Ms. Basin. Are there any questions or comments? The only comment I would say is thank you for all those individuals who put work into this to look out for our interest and get this done for us. So I think we're ready for a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? The vote carries 5-0. 3.05, we need a motion to close the public hearing and resume the regular meeting. May I have a motion?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Warning and seconded by Mr. Angel. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Vote carries 5-0. Moving on to 4.01, patrons registered to comment on educational issues tonight. There are no patrons registered to comment on the educational issues, so we'll pass 4.01. Item 5, consent agenda. Dr. Terrell.
Thank you. For your consideration this evening, we have 5.01, the executive session minutes from 4/28/25, the regular business meeting minutes from 4/28/25, and then the executive session minutes from 5/12/25. 5.02, the personnel agenda, and then 5.03, the voucher registered checks as listed.
All right, you've heard the recommendation from Dr. Terrell and the administration to approve item 5.01, executive session minutes for 4/28/25, the regular business meeting minutes of April 28, 2025, and the executive session minutes of May 12, 2025. The personal agenda under item 5.02 and 5.03, voucher registered check numbers 176,384 to 176,581, and vouchers numbers 303,586 to 304,087. May I have a motion? So moved by Mr. Angel. Second by Ms. Basin. Are there any questions or comments?
Comment, please. Personnel agenda, I'll be voting no on an individual, not because of the individual, but because I do not believe the position is needed, and I don't believe it's being a good steward of taxpayer money to have this position.
Thank you, Mr. Vassar. Any other questions or comments? All right, with there being no other questions or comments, we'll move to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays?
Nay.
The vote carries 4-1 with Mr. Vassar dissenting.
Brian, before we move forward on the, just notice on personnel agenda that Mr. Botters is leaving as a assistant principal at the high school. Just want to take a minute to thank him for his time and impact with the students. I've never heard anything but positive feedback and what a great influence he was on the students at Crown Point High School. So I want to recognize that.
Thank you, Mr. Warning, and I meant to do that, so thank you for reminding me. Mr. Botters started off as a teacher and worked his way all the way up, so he put a lot of time in it.
I would also like to take an opportunity here to recognize Diana Smith, who is in the audience. Diana is going to be our new Director of Grants and Assessments. So we appreciate Diana being here and look forward to working with her. Congratulations.
Welcome, Diana. We're excited to have you. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to item 6, action item 6.01, approval to apply for and receive funds from the IDOE Digital Learning Grant. Mr. Hartman.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. Tonight, as I mentioned last month in my comments, there was a couple of grants that would be coming to you tonight. The first one is the Digital Learning Grant. We are applying for $45,000 to purchase Magic School, which is an AI platform. And the main reason for the $45,000 for the platform is so that we can initiate the awareness, the exploration, the use of AI, starting with teachers and then moving to use with the students in an ethical way with great integrity for learning. So we're asking your approval tonight of a grant, the Digital Learning Grant of $45,000 to purchase Magic School Enterprise Artificial Intelligence platform.
Thank you, Mr. Hardman. You heard the recommendation of the administration to apply for and receive the Indiana Department of Educational Digital Learning Grant funds of $45,000 to purchase the Magic School Enterprise Artificial Intelligence platform for Crown Point Community School Community School Corporation teachers and students. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion made by Mr. Vassar and second by Ms. Bazin. Are there any questions or comments for Mr. Hardman? There being no questions or comments, we'll move to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay. Vote carries 5-0. Moving on to action item 6.02, approval to apply for and receive the Indiana Department of Education K-12 Robotics Competition Grant. Back to you, Mr. Hardman.
Thank you very much. This is the third year that we have applied for this robotics competition grant. This is for local competitions to support our teams, of which we had the TAF robotics team receive the awards this evening. This year, we're asking for you to approve the application and receipt of $75,128.15 for our robotics team to support them at all of 10 of our schools in Crown Point. I think one of the things I think it's interesting in the chart that the information that was provided you, we're asking for $75,128.15, yet in-kind contributions, cash and those that are donated is $82,715. So with that amount of money, we can see why we're able to support our robotics teams as they grow and continue to compete at high levels in the local area as well as across the state. Seeking your approval tonight to apply for and receive the funds of $75,128.15 from the IDOE Robotics Competition Grant.
Thank you, Mr. Hardman. And you heard the recommendation of the administration to apply for and receive the Indiana Department of Education Robotics Competition Grant funds of $75,128.15 for kits and supplies to maintain our elementary, middle, and high school robotics teams and registration fees to participate in local robotics competitions. May I have a motion?
Second.
Moved by Ms. Bazin and second by Mr. Vassar. Are there any questions or comments? Mr. Hardman, I just want to ask, you said $82,717.40 is in addition to?
That's what comes in from donations. It comes in from competitions, from community members that are donating to the programs.
That's amazing.
It is.
Well, we certainly want to thank all our support and the individuals and companies and businesses that sew into our children and the robotics programs. So, any other questions or comments? All right, move to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? The vote carries 5-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Harmon. We'll see you in a little bit. Moving on to item 6.03, disposition of obsolete curricular materials. Mrs. Ramirez.
Thank you, Mr. President and board members. I'm here tonight coming off of our April board meeting where you approved the purchase of the Reveal Mathematics curriculum at the middle school. And so with the new curriculum in, I am here to request that the administration, of course, is recommending that the School Board of Trustees authorize the administration to dispose of the curriculum materials listed, as these are now obsolete, and we will do that in the most equitable manner possible, which could include sale, donation, or deeming it worthless and disposing with normal refuse. So I am here tonight to ask the board to approve this recommendation.
Thank you, Mrs. Ramirez. You heard the recommendation of the administration That the Board of School Trustees authorize the administration to dispose of the curricular materials listed in the most economical manner that best meets the requirements of Administrative Guideline 7310, which may include sale, donation, or deeming it worthless and disposing of it as normal refuse. May I have a motion? So moved. So moved by Mr. Angel.
Second.
And second by Ms. Basin. Are there any questions or comments from Ms. Ramirez?
Ms. Ramirez, do you have any idea where you want to start with these books? Are you planning to sell them, donate them?
What we typically will do is right now, given that these do contain versions that are from several years ago, we will ask students and staff if they are interested in any of these materials as our first step. And then after that, once we've made that available, then we will look to dispose of them.
There's lots of copies.
There are copies. It just kind of varies between the building moves, what made it through moves, what didn't make it through moves. So this will universally kind of cover all of the things that were approved originally by the board that we will work to dispose of and or give away, as of course we love to support mathematics and would love kids to want to use these college preparatory mathematics booklets and curricula all summer long. So have at it if they are interested. So hopefully somebody will take us up on that.
Maybe you put it on a shelf and let it sit there for 100 years and it becomes very valuable.
There you go. Maybe,
You never
maybe.
know with AI and everything else.
Maybe Mr. Hardman will sign some copies of it and then,
Right.
kind of
There we
go down in the books down
That's
the
right.
road. Yes.
All right, any other questions or comments? All right, we'll move to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays, and the vote carries 5-0. Moving on to action item 6.04, the child care fees increase. Mr. Gianfermi?
Thank you, Mr. President. Board members, as you are aware, Crown Point Schools provides before and after school childcare. Childcare is a self-funding program, meaning all the fees that we collect are what funds all the workers and snacks that we have there for the kids. Attempt to have the fees equal what the program costs. We're recommending $1 increase per session for the 2025 and 26 school year. So the administration recommends increase the child care by $1, moving the total for each session to $9 per session, starting 25-26 school year.
Thank you, Mr. Gianfermi. You heard the recommendation of the administration to approve the increase, the cost of Crown Point Community School Corporation childcare by $1, moving to $9 per session, starting in the 2025 and 2026 school year. May I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Vassar. Second. And second by Mr. Angel. Are there any questions or comments?
So Mr. Gianfermi mentioned that it's self-funding. Does it properly fund? Or is it, I mean, are we able to fund the program?
At this move, we've kind of calculated out with the increase of students and workers that this should get us right there.
Thank you.
Question, any other questions or comments? All right, we'll move to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay. Vote carries 5-0. Thank you. Moving on to item 6.05, landscaping at Solon Robinson Elementary School. Mr. Reese.
Thank you, Mr. President. As we're wrapping up the construction at Solon Robinson, the last step of that project is to go in and approve the landscaping for around the building to meet city codes. That was part of the site plan when the city approved that construction. So with that, we're recommending the landscaping for Solon Robinson Elementary to Hubinger Landscaping Corp. in the amount of $91,858.
Thank you, Mr. Reese. You've heard the recommendation of the administration for approval of contract for the landscaping at Solon Robinson Elementary School. And that bid go to Hubinger Landscaping Corp. in the amount of $91,858 at Solon Robinson Elementary. May I have a motion? So moved by Ms. Basin. Second. Second by Mr. Angel. Any questions or comments? There being no questions or comments, we'll move to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays. The vote carries 5-0. Moving on to action item 6.06, purchase student Chromebooks. Back to you, Mr. Reese.
Thank you, Mr. President. As we have done for quite a few several years, getting our Chromebooks into our students' hands, we are recommending the purchase of 2,150 Dell Chromebooks, along with the 2,150 Google management licenses. These Chromebooks are ones we replace at kindergarten, 5th grade, and 9th grade every year, and those follow those students in through the grades until they get new ones in 5th grade and 9th grade, and then obviously when they graduate. We are using the Midwestern Higher Education Compact, which is a group of 12 Midwestern states, to do cooperative purchasing. And so with that, we're recommending approval to purchase 2,150 Dell 3110 touchscreen Chromebooks, along with 2,150 Google management licenses from Electronic Strategies, Inc. at $712,725.
Thank you, Mr. Reese. You heard the recommendation of administration to approve the purchase of 2,150 Dell 3,110 touchscreen Chromebooks along with 2,150 Google Management licenses from Electronic Strategies Incorporated at the cost of $712,725. May I have a motion?
So move.
So moved by Mr. Vassar. Second by Mr. Warney. Any questions or comments? Mr. Reese, as we customarily ask, Electronic Strategies Incorporated is a contractor we've done business with in the past, correct?
Correct. I know at least last year we purchased them, and I believe the last 2 or 3 years we have.
Thank you. Questions or comments? Let's move to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay. And the votes carries 5-0. Item 6.07, Food to School Purchasing Cooperative Awards for the 2025-2026 school year. Mr. Reese.
Thank you, Mr. President. As we do every year, we're asking you to approve the bids and purchases for our food service program. This would include actual food purchases, milk and bread for the 25-26 school year. Again, we join with other school corporations, 95 other school corporations, to do this cooperative purchasing to get the best pricing possible. The primary GPO distributor contract would go to HPS or Gordon Food Service. The secondary GPO distributor contract to Commercial Food Systems. The dairy distributor contract to Dairy Farmers of America, Schenkels. And then the bread distributor contract to Alpha Baking Company. With that, we're recommending approval of the purchasing cooperative contract award for the 25-26 school year.
Thank you, Mr. Reese. You heard a recommendation administration for approval of the Food to School Purchasing Cooperative Contract Award for the 2025-2026 school year. May I have a motion? So moved by Ms. Basin.
Second.
And second by Mr. Vassar. Are there any questions or comments? Mr. Reese, I'll put you under the firing squad a little bit here, but with the economic changes, the changes in our economy, you know, food is one of those items that in the last year or two has really been impacted. Have the food costs gone up substantially for the corporation over the last year or two in general?
They have gone up some, and that's what you'll hear in the next agenda item.
Oh, okay. I'm beating you to it then. Excellent. All right. Any other questions or comments? All right, we'll move to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nays? Vote carries 5-0. Item 6.08, 2025-2026 school meal prices. Mr. Reese.
Thank you, Mr. President. This year, we are asking for a across-the-board 10-cent increase, elementary, middle, and high school lunches, as well as elementary, middle, and high school breakfast prices for our students and parents. We are also asking for a 25-cent hike at St. Mary's for the lunches we serve there, and at Trinity, a 35-cent hike. The reason for the difference is that currently Trinity does not have any of our staff members on site. They handle that, and next year we'll be putting some of our staff members on site at Trinity, so only fair that they pay the same price at St. Mary's where we already have staff members there. The food cost, the price increase we're requesting is due to, as you mentioned, Mr. President, the increase in food cost, but also an initiative to try to provide some more local fruits and vegetables, which will have a little higher cost than normal. With that, we're recommending the lunch price increases for 25-26.
Thank you, Mr. Reese. You heard the recommendation of administration for approval of the meal prices 2025-2026 school year that are within the federal regulations. May I have a motion? So moved by Mr. Angel. Second by Ms. Basin. Are there any questions or comments? Move to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Nays? The vote carries 5-0. Item 6.09, cancellation of teacher contract. Dr. Terrell.
Thank you, members of the board. On May 2nd, 2025, teacher Trisha Reed was served with a written preliminary decision to cancel her teaching contract. I have provided the school board with a copy of the preliminary decision for your review. which contains the reasons for the preliminary decision and outlines Ms. Reed's due process rights to challenge the preliminary decision. Ms. Reed did request a private conference with me. I held that conference with Ms. Reed last week on May 13th, 2025. Indiana Code 20-28-7.5-2F affords teachers a right to have an additional private conference with the governing body if the teacher requests the additional private conference no later than 5 days after the initial private conference with the superintendent. The district did not receive a request from Ms. Reed for the additional private conference with the governing body by the end of the day yesterday, which was the 5th day following her private conference with me. Indiana Code 20-28-7.5-3 states that the first public meeting following the private conference with the superintendent, if no conference with the governing board is requested, then the governing body may cancel the contract with the teacher by a majority vote evidenced by signed statement in the minutes of the board. The first public meeting of this board following Ms. Reed's private conference with me is tonight. Therefore, in accordance with Indiana Code 20-28-7.5-3, I am recommending the board approve the preliminary decision and my recommendation to cancel the teaching contract of Tricia Reed for the reasons stated in the written preliminary decision.
Thank you, Mr. Terrell. Dr. Terrell, the board, you've heard the recommendations of the superintendent that the board approve the written preliminary decision and his recommendation to cancel the teaching contract of Tricia Reed for the reasons stated in the written preliminary decision. May I have a motion? So moved by Ms. Bazin for those reasons stated. May I have a second? Second by Mr. Angel. It has been moved and seconded that the board cancel the teaching contract of Tricia Reed for the reasons stated in the written preliminary decision. Are there any discussions or comments? No comments or questions or discussion, we'll move to proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. And the motion passes 5-0 to terminate the contract of Ms. Reed. Indiana law requires that the decision of the school board be evidenced by a signed statement in the minutes of the board. Therefore, I ask that the superintendent secretary, Diana, if you could please note in the minutes of the board this decision this evening and that signature lines be provided for the board to sign those minutes confirming the action of the board this evening. Also, please attach a copy of the written preliminary decision and the superintendent's recommendation to the board meeting minutes for our records. Thank you. We're going to move on to item 7.01, superintendent's discussion groups. Thank you. Mr. Angel, anything from Whitfield?
Nope, nothing going on.
Mr. Vassar, anything from Crown Point?
Yes, Crown Point, we met earlier this month. One thing that did come up, there were some things approved in previous month for construction at Bulldog Park in the form of trusses. And in that time, due to tariffs, that price increased overall by 5%. I guess my question coming back to all of us, I guess it would be to Mr. Reese, we noticed any price increases due to tariffs at this point.
Mr. Vassar, I can't give any specific answers tonight. Not that I'm aware of, but I'll have to look into it and get back to you.
Thank you.
Anything else? Moving on to item 7.02, Director of Grants and Assessments, Mr. Hardman.
Well, we have come to the end of a very successful test season. Last time I said that we were halfway through it, and now we are completely done with our testing for this year. Would like to thank students and parents and staff and administrators for having this successful time. It takes really a team effort to be able to complete the tests in efficient manner. We normally do receive we are monitored by the state, and annually our percentage of students who take the test is well above what the necessary rankings are to be. As far as they do forensic look at all the test scores, we have not been cited for anything that might be considered illicit. So it's been, again, looking forward to, again, a good report from the IDOE. As we come to the end of the year with grants, I did want to recognize our Deputy Treasurer, Tracy McMahon. Tracy came in a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, I think she's been with us, and she came from Taft as a treasurer, and she monitors and manages all the grant funds that come into Crown Point Community School Corporation. She came in at a time when there were millions of dollars that were being distributed grants through the ESSER from the federal government. She continues just to do just an excellent job of taking care of the funds, monitoring it, balancing, letting me know what's going on with it. When we need to make shifts in the money using grants or making purchases, I mean, she really has come on a long way as far as her knowledge. She always had the skills, and she definitely is an asset in the business department and also helping us to manage the grants that we have. So just wanted to recognize Tracy McMahon, Deputy Treasurer. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harmon. Item 7.03, Director of Elementary Education, Dr. Kachina.
Thank you, Mr. President and board members. 2 weeks ago tonight, on May 5th, we had hundreds of second graders and family members out in the CPHS football stadium. This event was really the first of its kind here in Crown Point, and I just want to recognize and thank our team of music teachers for their creativity and hard work to put this together. Kelly Walton, Christine Santaguida, Alex Drakulich, Brooke Robinson, Krista Woodhall, Lori Heridia, and Jennifer Myers. It was a great event and quite a sight to see hundreds of second graders and family members out there coming together. Recently, we have brought in, well, in March, we had kindergarten, first grade, and second grade teachers, one from each school at each grade level. And then last week, we had one teacher from each grade level at each school from grades 3, 4, and 5 come together to revise and adjust our curriculum maps for next year. It's important to us that teachers are really at the center of this work and those decisions being made. And the teachers in those meetings were open, honest, collaborative, truly wanting to work together and talk about how to improve things. Really excited to build on the success of that project this year and looking into next year, and just really appreciative to our teachers and our ELA and math specialists for all of their hard work. Anytime I get to, spend time with our teachers, it is just really evident how talented and dedicated they are and how lucky our kids are and all of us are to have teachers like we do. This time of year is a sprint. Every year it feels like it. There's a lot of events happening every single day. And I just want to thank everyone in our elementary schools for really going above and beyond to recognize our students and really do memorable, meaningful things to create lasting memories for our learners. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kachina. Moving on to item 7.04, Director of Secondary Education, Mrs. Ramirez.
Thank you, Mr. President and board members. I would like to take the opportunity tonight to thank our technology department, specifically Brian Gill and Chris Phillips. They have been instrumental in helping us with the integrations that we will be needing for new at the middle school level, as well as Spanish curriculum at the high school. And so now that you guys have approved that in April, they have not missed a beat, and they have been in contact with our curricular publishers and vendors so that we can start that process to really help support teachers in starting the year off properly in August with any type of buzz integration that we can do. I also want to thank our blended instruction design specialist, Annie Vassar, Susan Valentine, Jeremy Walker, and Vince Lewis. They have also been really instrumental in continuing this work and will be in supporting teachers. And then I would like to thank Jacob Adams, Amy Helmuth, and Carol Lambercy for their work in supporting the ELA and math implementation going into next year. There's a lot of work that's taking place over the summer, and so I just really want to make sure that they get recognized for all of the hard work, the thoughtfulness, and the preparation that they have in really building towards the vision that we are looking to create. with our curricular adoptions for the 25-26 school year. I'd also like to reiterate, like Dr. Chiquina, that it is a sprint to the end, but it has been an exciting year full of a lot of opportunities that have been seized and a lot of accomplishments, and we're always looking forward. So I know that as admin, we kind of wrap up. We have graduation, and the next day we hit it, and we're starting to think about what we're going to be doing for next year. And so I just really thank everybody for their dedication, their commitment to creating the best opportunities we can and the best relationships we can with our community members.
Thank you, Mrs. Ramirez. Item 7.05, Director of Exceptional Education, Mrs. Pascas.
Good evening, President Smith, members of the board. Just wanted to recap. The best day of the year has come and gone. Last Wednesday, May 14th, was our unified game day. Pretty incredible sight on the football field at Crown Point High School with 500 athletes, about 54 volunteers, including many of the people in this room. We cannot thank enough the Athletic Leadership Council from the high school who we developed this partnership this year. It was something new. They helped run the events. We were out of there by like 1:06. That has never happened. They took all the tents down, cleaned everything up. They were amazing with our students. It was an incredible partnership. Taft Middle School also sent their ambassadors who helped out, cheered on our students, helped at events. So we are so appreciative of the way our school community comes together to support kids. I have to give a huge thank you to Kelly Oost, who really organized this year the game day with Rachel Dunlap, one of our physical therapy assistants, and they put all those events together. They changed it up a little bit to make it a little more engaging for some of our younger students. So we're already working on next year. We're excited. So thank you for those of you that stopped by.
Thank you, Mrs. Pascas.
Thank you.
Item 7.06, Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Gianfermi.
Thank you, Mr. President. As Dr. Kachina alluded to, there's so many things going on in the spring, and every night you can just pick a place to be. So I'm going to point out one I went to last week, sixth grade parent night at Colonel Wheeler. Kind of divided this with Mrs. Ramirez. She went to Taft, I went to Colonel Wheeler. But just can't give enough thanks to our middle school teams for doing that for our parents. That's a big transition for parents and kids going to the middle school, and they're very interested because both of those auditoriums were fairly full, packed actually, and just great information. And the biggest thing that parents walk away from that night is knowing that there's people there that care about their son or daughter who are coming into this middle school, and they're going to take care of them. One other observation, it's a much nicer place to do that presentation in those auditoriums. I used to do one in a cafeteria. It was a bit of a challenge, but it's such a nice facility now for people to come in and get excited about being in the middle school. So great job to our middle school admin teams and staffs for doing that. And then finally, just a thank you, a public thank you to our families and communities that supported us on the referendum vote. It's great when you see the results of that vote, just to know that I live and work in a community that really values education and supports their schools. So thank you for everyone that supported us.
Thank you, Mr. Gianfermi. If I'm not mistaken, I'm showing our age here, but I think you had something to do with setting those types of events up at the high school and middle school. So well done. Give yourself a pat on the back a little bit there for putting that in place. Item 7.07, Chief Human Resources Officer, Mr. Akiwa.
Thank you, Mr. President and board members. I'd like to, first of all, just thank everybody who was involved in the nomination and selection of all of our recipients tonight for Teacher of the Year at both levels, Employee of the Year and Administrator of the Year. It is truly an enjoyable time. Those folks that sat in those interviews with us, Sabrina, Nick, Mark, Heather, Kelly Oost, and last year's winners, to close the door and listen to individuals talk about how much they love serving our school community. It is truly an uplifting experience to listen to these comments. I want to shine a light on two particular individuals because our nominees, our finalists, in our interviews with them highlighted two of our employees, one current, one past, that inspired them to become teachers, inspired them to work hard and give back like they received a great treatment themselves as students and or teachers. So one, I'd like to just thank publicly Liz Hanlon. Liz Hanlon is an exceptional education teacher at Crown Point High School, and she was noted in the interviews as somebody who was pivotal in someone's educational career. So thank you, Liz, for all that you've done to inspire future educators. The other one is a retired teacher, Megan Ozarzak. Megan Ozarzak taught at Timothy Ball Elementary School. I happen to be principal there to witness Megan Ozarzak's greatness. And I just want to thank publicly Megan for the great service that she gave our school community and inspiring future educators to rise to the level that these finalists have risen. So just thank you again, once again, for everybody involved in your support in this effort. We filled a lot of buckets tonight, and I think you felt it right there during that particular commendation moment. So thank you very much.
Well done, Mr. Kiwa. 7.08, Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Reese.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. I'd like to recognize a few members of our food service staff. Given Thursday night events leading into Friday, we had about 7 or 8 individuals step up and empty out some walk-in coolers and freezers where a couple schools where the power had gone out. In short notice, Director of Food Service Christine Clarahan received notification that those temperatures were rising in those pieces of equipment, and she organized Jessica Wolf, Michelle Milner, Caroline Boltema, Polly Smith, Lisa Porter, and Michelle Kroll to come out, load their personal cars, and take that food, the frozen food and cold food, to other locations that had power. 2 things that did. One, saved us thousands of dollars in food product that we didn't have to throw away. And the second part was, if you imagine having that much food we have to throw away, that would make it difficult this week to feed some students. So with that, I want to thank them for jumping up Friday morning when most of them didn't have power themselves to take care of those issues for us as a school corporation.
Thank you, Mr. Reese, and thank you for all those who look out for our interests like them that you just recognized. That's incredible, and we appreciate all the work and service. 7.09, Director of Communications, Mrs. Allen.
Thank you and good evening. I wanted to take a moment to recognize some of our newer and perhaps lesser known clubs that we have in the district. We've been working on a feature in our communications department to kind of highlight just how many opportunities we offer for our students. We see so many clubs here at the board meeting who are repeaters because they just have so much success. But we also have students who have very specific interests, and I think our teachers really step up to make sure that all students have an opportunity. So in the last couple of weeks, I've visited the Railroad Club at CPHS High School, where students have a passion for model trains. So thank you to Sandy Specker and Mary Ree for heading that up. There's a photography club at Eisenhower, and I'm actually going to miss an event there on Wednesday. So the students are going to take pictures for me, and we'll publish those online. We have a crochet club at Timothy Ball. We have an investing club at Taft Middle School. So I think it's just a really good example of our teachers, again, going above and beyond, providing something for every student. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Allen. Items 7.10, Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Terrell.
Thank you. It seems like May 6th was months ago already because we've moved on so quickly. But like Mark, I just want to confirm the gratitude that we have for our community and how they stepped up to support our school district on May 6th. To go from about 49% pre-polling data to ending up with almost 83% with an approval vote that night is just unbelievable, and we appreciate so much. But all of that could not have been done, and I'm going to read through a list of people here, and I may get some of them or forget some of them, and I apologize if I do. But our leadership team, Mark Bates, Larry Geisen, Rich Paskus, LB Angel, Tara Johnston, Kat Middleton, Vince Lewis, Jessica Kerbara, Jill Wagner, Teresa Zarnt, Brandy Sims, Jamie Balserson, Jay Patel, Chad Crowell, John Jordan, Alex Nicola, Teresa Kolazik, did an amazing job as we leaned on them to really direct what the activities were that we were doing. Steve Klink and Candace Antisdale did a fabulous job bringing their expertise to our community, to our corporation as we move forward with that. School board members, all of you that were involved, and all of you were involved, cabinet members, can't thank our central office team enough. On those nights when there weren't very many people showing up, you could always count on many of the people to my left and in the back of the room being there, passing out signs and going door to door. And I thank all of you very much for that. Our building principals and how they organized their teams to come out, walked with their teams. Our teachers continually showed up. Especially want to call out Michelle Bunch and Hillary Laborde, who are here. CPEA, our association here in Crown Point Schools, made a monetary donation and a significant monetary donation. And I appreciate that very much. The gesture and also obviously the donation, but the gesture more than that. But these two also organized a major donation from the ISTA at the state level as well. That wouldn't have happened without their leadership. I want to thank a couple of board members, Scott Babjack, Tom Hoffman, who made definite, significant contributions to our campaign. Devin Lewis mentioned her husband, Vincent Lewis. Vincent was our get out to vote guy. And we went to him and said, hey, you're just going to do what you did last time. And this was nothing like what he did last time. This was a whole lot of work. And his wife jumped right in and helped him. Mary Hurt, who is one of our assistants here in this building, she took on the duties and job of making sure the building that we were using was clean, that we had donuts and coffee every Saturday morning, which was every Saturday from spring break until the referendum passed. Just went above and beyond. So the list of those who donated, restaurants, Station 21, Josasimo's Pizza, and then also Bomber's Barbecue. Special community nights for us. Appreciate that. And their leadership teams there. Many others who donated as we went through the process. It was a strenuous process, a stressful process, but at the same time, just a great opportunity to see people come together and interact with a lot of people in a different way than we normally do. So I can't state it enough how much I appreciate, and on behalf of our team, the support of our community coming together, which again, was the highest passing rate that we've ever had here in Crown Point Schools. When you consider all the things that are going on around our country right now, and a lot of the just people being diametrically opposed to each other and things, to see people come together in this way was really great to watch. So appreciate that, and just thank them very much.
Well said, Dr. Terrell. That list of individuals and all those people you recognized are some amazing people, and just some amazing talented people too. So it does not surprise me we had the kind of success we had when you have those people working for you. So thank you to all those individuals. Move on to 8.01, other business of the board. I'll start with you, Mr. Warney.
Sure. I'd just like to take the opportunity. I have a question. My fourth grader brought home some iLearn results today, and it just spurred like a whole bunch of thought about, look over here to Mr. Chiquina and Dr. Terrell. And the answer could be they're just not time. But I'm curious, let's just say we have 4 fourth graders across 7 schools, 28 teachers in 4th grade. Do we have the opportunity or consideration of taking, and I understand the 4th grade teacher, the last thing they want is to be evaluated by some standardized test. We all understand that. But do we do anything with that information, building versus building, teacher versus teacher, to kind of pinpoint or compliment someone who has a trend of doing very well, or question someone who might need some help, or follow a model of maybe a different teacher? There's certainly a lot to work with there.
Yeah. And guys, jump in wherever you'd like here. What I would indicate to you is that it is a portion of their evaluation. We look at it as a way of using data to really drive our instructional practices, and we've made great strides in that area over the last few years. And we continue to look at how do we work through this. Challenge comes with the tests are ever changing, and so trying to figure out what that looks like. Hopefully now we're kind of settling in to the model that we have right now. But the short answer is yes, all of that is reviewed, and it's also about growth. It's not just about having a certain score, it's where our kids getting to, and looking at all of that.
But do we even possibly break it down of, you have a free and reduced percentage here versus there? I mean, so we you've already answered my question. You do look at it. And by no means was I saying to use this as evaluation, but ourselves where, good coaches win and good teachers get good results, right? So. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. All those things, we break it down by subgroups and by grade level, and teachers look at it. A lot of the work that Dr. Kashina was and his specialists were showing last week at the retreat, that's a lot of that work is based on the results that we had from last year's iLearn, and we'll continue to do that. And I don't want to get the cart out in front of the horse, but we are very excited about the scores that we do see coming in currently. So we'll probably next board meeting be able to talk a little bit more about that. So, come together.
All I'd like to say is a reminder, graduation is 2 weeks from Wednesday. One of my favorite events out of my 21 years. I've only missed one. It's the culmination of why we do what we do. So any chance I get to be on that stage, even though there's no role involved other than stand there and shaking a couple hands, or maybe more than a couple. It's a wonderful evening. So just a reminder, 2 weeks from Wednesday, June 4th is graduate. Usually we got to get there by 5:30, 5:45. So just as a reminder.
Thank you, Mr. Angel. Mr. Vassar.
Yes, did you want me to give a legislative report?
Yeah, why don't we do that now?
So you look under 8.01, other business of the board. Tucked in there is a legislative report that you counted me to do. So I did that for us. You can look through that at your leisure because there's a lot on there that came up. Education bills, I should say. Let me just point out a couple of things though, as you scroll through. I think House Enrolled Act 1001 has been talked to death, so let's just get past that. House Enrolled Act 1002, Education Matters. A couple of things came up here. One, student plan submissions are now not needed. And the truth came out downstate that they don't even look at them. That was told to me at the meeting. It's like, so we've done this for all these years. How about it, Jim? How many years we've done those things? All for nothing. It's pretty sad. Secondly, the third bullet under that, you'll see that eliminates teacher evaluation that you were just talking about. Ratings of highly effective, improvement necessary, ineffective. Those are obsolete now. And the local districts get to decide on those ratings. So I'm excited to see what we come up with. Under E, under Education Matters, and Mrs. Paskus can probably speak to this better than I can, but parents are now allowed to record IEP meetings. Didn't say specifically if that was audio recording or video recording. Heather, did you have any idea? Okay. Yeah, they didn't address it.
Mr. Vassar, let me repeat what she said for those in the audience. Ms. Pascas indicated that we have always allowed ours to. If they do, then our practice is that we record that as well. Sorry.
No, that's great. Under F, House Enrolled Act 1498, that's school accountability. Again, David, this talks a little about what you were asking, that proficiency rates for iLearn and iRead will be part of determining the status rating of school corporations. On G, Education Matters, it's a pilot program that's coming, mastery-based education, which would allow not so much students the time in the classroom, but the mastery of materials. This came about from, my gosh, when I was early in my teaching career, from Dr. Gusky from the University of Kentucky. Can't believe it's still around, but that's going to be a pilot program. Don't know if we're going to be part of that pilot program. On Section H, finance, as we talked about, referendums, now school referendums will be limited to general elections in November, which will be every 2 years. There's other language in that. I'm kind of rushing through this because we've been here for quite some time. But you can look under property tax relief and reform and the reductions that those will cause. I don't think a lot of people realize that. That's what's going to happen. Section I on parental rights prohibits schools from advising, directing, or coercing a child to withhold information from a parent. Read the papers, read any publications, you know that happens around the country, but I do not believe that happens in Crown Point. That would be a shame. Under Section J, teacher compensation now must make up at least 65% of the money received from state tuition support. That is an increase throughout the state. Section L, partisan school board elections, as you know, that was approved, requires people running for school board to declare one of a few things: your party political affiliation, or if you're 2, an independent candidate, or 3, if you elect not to disclose any affiliation whatsoever. There will not be any primary elections for school board seats. That's what they originally put out back in January, as you may recall. Under Section N, instruction on human sexuality, a couple of things is interesting. The second bullet requires instructions to include a video on the development of a fetus and the importance of consent to sexual activity. It did not give a grade level. So I don't know if our directors, Dr. Kachina or Mrs. Ramirez, would have any information on that, but it doesn't say what grade level. It did not list that whatsoever. So we'll have to figure that out. Build that plane as we're flying it, I guess. And requires a consent form to tell parents if that class is taught by a male or female, and if the class is actually conducted with all boys or all girls or co-ed. So that is a change. Going on to the last page that I have, other education bills that passed. House Bill 1064, this is the one that allows athletic transfers, which the ISTA actually did not even fight on whatsoever, which is very disappointing to me. But that did pass. But since we have a closed enrollment, as we all voted on, that should not be happening in our schools. Number 3 on that, House Bill 1412 requires individuals to report child abuse or neglect. I don't think that's been a problem here, but it is something. It's actually the topic of a new book that I'm writing about child abuse. In a particular case, I won't go into that right now, but it is now required that people do that. That's about it. You can read the rest on your own because there's a lot to cover, but it did glean down that 40 out of the 174 bills, only 43 were passed. That's still a lot of bills. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vassar, and as we stated, I think, a meeting or two ago, thank you for all your efforts on this. This is a lot of work, very busy season, so it is helpful. Appreciate the summaries and work you do on this. You actually go down to Minneapolis and show up and pay attention and focus, and it really does mean a lot to the board and the administration, so thank you for your efforts and representing us well.
Entirely welcome.
Ms. Bazin. We're still on other business of the board. On other business of the board, just want to comment as well. We have evaluations coming up, so I'm going to meet with Dr. Terrell afterwards. I'll get some dates to you guys for the board. Then get these dates set and circulate that after I meet with him. Also, I think going along with what David said, Tim, you had raised the issue before too. It's just I think it goes along with the ILO testing and the grades. I'm going to speak with Dr. Terrell on that issue as well and see what we can do to get information to the board and have a discussion on that, those items as well. Okay, so we'll get back to you on those. All right. Item 9.01, board statements of appreciation and recognition. Back to you, Mr. Warner.
Yes, thank you. I have a couple. I think it's more of an appreciation or a thank you to what the school corporation allows some of our buildings to participate in. The DARE program, I know from my understanding, it doesn't exist everywhere. It has to be, it's something that we have a partnership with. I've however many years ago, 30 some years ago, you forget what DARE is all about. And sitting in on a DARE graduation, it really just made me so happy to be involved in a school corporation that presented our fifth grader with those opportunities. And she came home and talked about Officer G and what they're learning. And those kids on the stage, I mean, they loved him. And I want to thank Officer G for what he's done for us. And I just think if it's a decision that comes up in the future, I hope that we continue to stick with the program. I do think it has value and impact on the children that are 11, 12 years old. The other one, same idea, is Girls on the Run. Something that we don't have to do or have to offer. In my opinion, with young ladies that I have, fourth and fifth graders, I hope they get good grades. I hope they achieve things, but more important than all of it, I hope they're confident. And Girls on the Run wasn't just running around the building for 45 minutes. It's the confidence that was instilled in them, or the process of teaching them how to be confident in themselves. So again, another program that if ever comes up in the future, I really hope that we continue to support it. I think it was great for the kids, and the participation of the teachers and Miss Wade specifically, maybe others, but showing up on Saturday for the run in Highland was pretty neat. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Warning. I think they had a significant number of students and parents out there for the run, from what I heard.
The overall attendance of it, so in Highland, you're talking about running basically a square, and they sent everyone off in waves. It was so densely populated that if you wanted to advance, you really couldn't, which was not a bad thing, but it was, I mean, you're talking about going down a city street in Highland, and it was that wide across in waves that, I'm not sure how many thousand, a couple thousand people.
Amazing. I think I remember when we approved that to become extracurricular activity in some of the schools. So it's amazing how fast it's grown. And I know it's in the community, several different communities, but I heard it was a great turnout and just an awesome cause. So fantastic. Mr. Ingram.
So that wasn't part of mine, but just to give you a little history on Girls on the Run, Molly, who's the youngest of my four kids, just turned 24, just ran her third marathon in Eugene, Oregon. And she made me run in that Highland one like Halloween. I don't know, it's 50. So figure the age thing out, and I can tell you she slowed down with about a half mile to go. And so I slowed down because I actually did some training for her, and that was the first one I had ever run. And then around the corner, last corner, she started sprinting so she could beat Dad. So just the history. The Girls on the Run must work for that confidence, because she has a great job, and like I said, is going all over now to run marathons, and she will run in the Chicago Marathon this fall. So, but just, it's amazing you brought that up. My two commendations are, one, Mike Malaskier, Employee of the Year, Administrator of the Year. On Friday, we didn't have school because of the power outage. And I had a good friend who has a daughter that has access, she needs a wheelchair. And the building was closed. And he reached out to me because they were on vacation and says, hey, is there any way she's going to need it? She left it there knowing she could take a cane to get to her car at the end of the school day, that she's going to be back there on Friday. Well, they had that big event out on the football field Friday, and she didn't have access to a wheelchair. So because I've been around long enough, I'm calling everybody I know that might be at the high school. Called Russ Marcinek, called me back later, called Bill Durilla, said, if you need something, I can get a hold of this. Last chance, I said, maybe Mike's got whatever he can get. Mike was, he said, 2 minutes leaving his house, going somewhere else, knowing he was busy with all the power outages. He said, I can be there in 90 seconds, let him know, go to the door, I'll let him in to get her wheelchair. So that's kind of, Mike Mulaski does those kind of things. With knowing what was going on Friday with the power outages, to even just say, Scott, I can help out. And, that's a tribute to him on well-deserved award tonight. And then United Day, I did attend. I'm going to use the word controlled chaos, but that's not right. Because I am telling you, I was shell-shocked with the amount of people there, the amount of students there, and then the amount of kids that I actually knew personally that were helping the event. Current students, middle school students, kids of our employees, and it was just a great sight to be seen. So I made sure I walked around and at least looked for 30 seconds to a minute at each event. And the smiles on some of those kids' faces was worth more than $1 million in cash sitting on that table, because it was just so glad to see. And I got to admit, because the kids really seemed to enjoy the bubble station, that was my favorite. They just were just happy to have bubbles blowing up and knocking with their hands. And I was like, this is really cool. So kudos to Mrs. Paskus and everybody she thanked earlier, but just a wonderful event. Just one of those heartwarming felt events. That's all I have.
I'd like to thank Ben Baker from their technology department. Mr. Warney and I were both having trouble with getting emails on our phones, corporation emails. So Mr. Baker sought me out, and we met earlier this afternoon. And actually, not sure what he did, David, but he fixed it up. And now I have, I don't know how many emails. So thanks for my colleagues for forwarding things on to me on my personal email in the past, but hopefully that's not necessary anymore. So Mr. Baker, if you're listening, thank you very much. It's much appreciated.
All right, so I have a lot tonight. I was able to attend our second grade folk dancing, which I was thinking would be very chaotic given that it is all of the corporation's second graders and their families. And it was wonderful. It was very well organized. I'm glad that everyone got to experience the way that Timothy Ball has done their music performances, which is less of the kids standing there and performing and very interactive. So it was great that that everyone kind of got to have that experience. We certainly love Mrs. Walton as our music teacher at Timothy Ball, so it was great to see everyone get to do some of that folk dancing. I did have a leg up. I did know some of the folk dancing from some of the things we did last year at our music program in first grade. So but I did get to learn a few new ones as well. So that was wonderful. Thank you to all involved. Second one was Unified Games Day. I'm so glad I had the opportunity to attend this year. It was absolutely wonderful. Seeing our students who have their buddies in, you know, whatever, if they're elementary school, middle school, high school, they've got their buddies who help them kind of throughout their school day, throughout the year, and to see the buddies attend with some of our exceptional learners and make sure that they got to experience everything. So one in particular was some of our Eisenhower students, and we had one of our students who is in a wheelchair and wanted to do the scooters. And so they had initially transferred her onto a scooter, and she needed an extra scooter to prop her feet up so that she could fully enjoy safely that game. And it was awesome to see the kids come together and make sure that their buddy could experience all that we had to offer in the best, most safe way. So I saw nothing but joy on every face around, and it was really an amazing event to be a part of. Thank you. I know that that is not just limited to our exceptional education team, but really that is a corporation-wide event. So thank you so much for all involved in that. I want to take a really quick minute to thank all of our transitions teams. So I this year have a 5th grader getting ready to go to middle school, 8th graders going to high school, and the amount of effort put in by, you know, our middle schools coming down to elementary school, same thing with high school coming down, and that's a lot of extra effort, and they have really done a fabulous job making all of those students and parents both feel prepared and excited for the next adventure that they're about to go on. My final one is our board retreat. A week ago, we had the opportunity to come here to the admin building and hear kind of a state of the schools and dive into some stuff there. And it was a wonderful event. Thank you so much to our cabinet and our the rest of our team who was willing to not only work a full day, but then come in for the evening and help kind of give us all that full experience for the board. We very much appreciate that. So thank you. I will stop there with all of my thank yous.
Excellent job. Just very quickly, just start off the same thing, Unified Games, and, you know, built the facilities out, and we have an extra field over there now. And, you know, we think we play soccer, we play football, we do all these different sports on that, but we really build it for the Unified Games. As this continues to grow, we're up to 500, I think, Ms. Pascas, that were there who are participating, and the number just keeps growing each year. And I just encourage all parents and students, and it's just a phenomenal event. We went to basketball games earlier this year, just all these activities, and just see the love and kindness between the students, the parents, the bleachers are getting full. I mean, there's really an active involvement and a genuine care, and it's really touching, frankly, and it's amazing. So just well done. To the administration, teachers, building leaders, obviously we won't see you again until the school year's over. We'll be heading into next year, and just want to congratulate everybody in this room, all the way down to teachers and parents, and just another successful year. And I feel like I think it's safe to say the last several years have been a little bit interesting with buildings and interruptions. And I mean, even going back 4 years ago, COVID, and just, I haven't heard that name in a while, but I feel like next year we can get back to some normalcy. And that's going to be welcomed, I'm sure, a lot. There's still some implementation stuff and still some things we're working on, but it's going to be a little different next year, and I'm excited for that. So I hope you guys all, I'm sure this room will be half full next month. Well deserved. Go out and get your vacations in June, refresh, and we'll get after it next year. Looking forward to it. So well done to everybody, and that's what I have, and that's all I have tonight. So we can move to adjourn. If I could have a motion, please.
So, second.
Moved by Ms. Basin, second by Mr. Angel. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Nays, and the vote carries 5-0. Thank you.